Hi everyone, it's Lindsay and I am back today with my very first ever Bible journaling video. Now I'm going to be using the Joy Clair Stamps. This is their Color by Faith line and it is absolutely gorgeous. This is the Treasure stamp set. It's brand new in January. Now I have already planned this out a little bit in my right hand margin, and this stamp set it really goes along with Matthew chapter 6 verses 19 through 21, but it also has images in it and different sayings that could be used in so many different other pages of your Bible journal. But the first thing I wanted to do was put a piece of white typing paper behind the page I'm going to be working on, just in case there's any bleed through at all. I don't want it to transfer onto that back page. So that's just kind of my safeguard. I've already planned these out, like I said before, on my right hand side, and because my Bible has a little bit of a slick feeling to the pages, I'm going to be using my dye inks. These are Memento dye inks. They're the little teardrop shapes or raindrops, whatever you want to call them, and this one is called Paris Dusk. It's a little bit of a darker blue color, and I'm going to stamp that bottom verse or saying, and then I'll stamp the top one, and this is just going to give me a nice even spacing between my images. It kind of goes along with my perfectionism a little bit. It's transferring over into my Bible journaling, but that's okay. That's who I am. And then I'm going to stamp this treasure chest right in the center of those two, and I'm using black dye ink for this. Now the great thing I love about this line of stamps, not only does it give you certain verses that you can really take these stamps to and create beautiful Bible journaling pages, but there are so many other different images and sayings in them that you can just kind of go crazy, and whatever you're reading, whatever you might want to journal that day, you are bound to find an image or a sentiment or saying that will go along with it. Now, I wanted to be able to go back and kind of look back directly at the verses that inspired this entire journal page. So I took that X that's in the stamp set, I inked it up with some red dye ink, this is also from Memento, and I stamped it right over those verses. Now I'm going to connect that X with this dash line and some London Fog, which is a very light gray ink, to the top and bottom verses that I stamped out. And this just allows me to really go back and reread these verses as often as I want to and go back and see what inspired this entire journal page in the first place. Now for my coloring, I'm keeping it very simple. I'm using some Prismacolor colored pencils here. And I'm just using about 3 colors on this chest and blending them out. And these blend beautifully on the actual Bible pages. I didn't put down any sort of gesso or anything like that to really prep my page, so these just blended beautifully on there. I was quite surprised. Now, I kept my colors pretty simple here. I'm going to be using some yellow in different parts of the chest where I thought it might be gold. And then I'll come back in and I'll use some really dark emerald greens, some blues, reds, purples, and more yellows to color in those jewels inside the actual treasure chest. I wanted to keep it a cohesive look, so I kind of brought in the colors from my inks into that treasure chest as well. For the sand that I am coloring now, I first put down a layer of light brown, and then I'm coming back in with a few different shades of darker browns and putting in little dots for some added texture into that sand. I know a lot of people like to draw into their Bible journaling, and that is awesome. I wish I could do that. However, I am no artist, and it just really wouldn't work out for me. It would stress me out. So this stamp line is awesome because I can just come in with these images that are already drawn out and beautiful, and I can do what I love in my Bible journal, which is coloring and just really bringing images to life. That's more what I like to do. And I also like to keep things nice and clean and simple. So I think Bible journaling would be more about bringing in your own style and bringing in your own personality to these pages, and that's what I'm trying to do here. Now around this treasure chest on the top, I am using a few different blues just to create a kind of sky here, and then underneath that sand I'll use a few grays just for a little bit of a grounding effect. I also wanted to bring a little bit more life into the verses on the top and the bottom, and also that X, so I'm adding just a little bit of shading. With the red, I did it with a little bit of grays, and then with my verses on the top and the bottom, I'm using a blue that's just a little bit lighter than the actual ink, and I'm just going around them on the right hand side of each letter just to add a little bit more depth, and that finished off my journal page for today. I hope you all enjoyed this new type of art that I had today on my channel, and I will be doing more of these in the future, so you can check back in and see what's new. As always, I will leave you guys with these few last pictures of the journal pages. For more information and the supply list for this project, you can head over to my blog or the Joy Clair Stamps blog. I will leave both links in the description box below. Thank you guys for watching today, and happy crafting!